How does that feel? Awkward, right? Your body, you start to lock up. You feel it in your shoulders, your hands, your forehead. Your body manifests that as stress, as tension. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about panic. That's what you guys just felt as soon as I said, I want you to do something a little different. Say something nice about the person that you know better than anybody else on the planet. Say something nice about yourself. You're like, oh, that's a threat. You went into panic mode, but that's okay. We're going to calm you down. We're going to calm you down from that. And we're going to do that by doing nothing but a simple breathing exercise. So you see, mindfulness, we have this podcast called Men Talking Mindfulness. Chad talked about Will having taught mindfulness for the past 20 years. I've been teaching it and practicing it for the past 7 or 8 years. It's become kind of a buzzword, but some of you guys may see that word and you're like, great, I'm going to snooze for the next hour. This is hippy dippy woo woo stuff. I don't want anything to do with it. We're going to demystify that. Okay. So to do that, we're going to start by doing what I just said. Breathing. All right. So bring your attention, and if closing your eyes is comfortable to you, I invite you to do so. Just bring your attention with intention to your breath. Not forcing anything, but just noticing it. Noticing how that feels. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe in. Noticing how the air feels as you breathe in. Maybe you feel it slightly cooler versus how it feels as you breathe out, maybe slightly warmer. All right, one last breath in and letting it go nice and slow, nice and easy. Bring some movement back into your body, maybe wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. If anybody fell asleep, not yet. All right, not yet. So now how do you guys feel? Maybe a little bit calmer, right? So we panicked you to show you how your body can react, your body, your nervous system, your mind can react as though it's a threat. And now we've calmed you down. And now I'm going to take the ball, pass it over to Wood.
Just getting in touch with our breath, and then we're going to get in touch and really get deeper in touch with our breath with this step breath. And then we'll work with something called the BAMO breath. BAMO, breathe and move on. And then we'll do a little meditation. I think we're only going to let's just get in touch with our breath first, and I'll take you to BAMO. But let's, you can stay where you are. Let's sit up nice and tall. What I suggest doing, right, to get in touch with the breath, make a little contact, is why don't we bring like a little hand on our little belly, right, and maybe one across our chest. Okay, and try to sit up tall, right? Because, interesting about physiology in the body, right? If I'm kind of slouching like a couch potato, right, I'm actually rounding my shoulders and pushing my lungs to the back of my body so I don't have the full capacity. But if I'm sitting up nice and tall and straight, lifting my chest up, this brings my lungs forward so I can really begin to fill and bring more air into my body. So let's close the eyes, right? The visual experience could create a lot of data points that we don't need right now, but all we really want to do is feel the breath. So let's empty the breath out and even like kind of pull your navel in and exhale out through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Really get empty. Good. Let's take it, as best we can, take a big deep breath down into our belly, right? Expanding, and let that kind of expand to the middle of our chest, or middle of our torso, and then all the way top of the chest. Let's exhale out the mouth. And again, inhale, feeling deeply, feeling that swelling and that expansion, and exhale, let it go out. Get in, big belly breath. Let it slowly rise all the way up to the top, expanding front, back, and side. And exhale, let it go out. Nice. Yeah, just really also being a conductor of your breath so it's nice and smooth. In again. Time. Inhale, big breath. Keep going, a little more. Exhale, let it go out. And let's just keep the eyes closed, keep the hands where they are, and just do a little check-in, like a little internal selfie, if you will, and just take an inventory of like, hey, what's going on in my mind right now? Is there less thinking? Is there more gaps between my thoughts? How about my emotional experience? Do I still have a little bit of this like residual something, or am I more peaceful, more calm, more relaxed, more present? If you feel more relaxed right now, I like to think of this as an opportunity, like a reference point that this is what the breath can help you to do. And again, just taking those few minutes every day to create a stronger relationship to your breath can really help to serve you in all aspects of your life. Now I'll just teach you this BAMO breath, right? This breathe and move on. And you can open the eyes or close the eyes for this one. And maybe keep the hands on your torso if you like, just to keep in touch, or stay grounded with your hands on your thighs, right? And this is a great little hack, the BAMO breath. Breathe and move on. And I really suggest make a little, or maybe make a note in your thing, right, in your notebook right now, and put down BAMO, what it stands for, breathe and move on, and even take it a step further, and maybe get a little post-it or an index card and put it at your desk, right? So when you're feeling all kind of jacked up, stress and anxiety, and like whether it's an email or whether someone's like bothering you or something like that, you have a tool now, the BAMO breath, to breathe, right, and move on from that experience. And sometimes like I have takes like 5 or 10 rounds to really, again, or think about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to get out of that emotional experience and being reactive and into the calm, cool, and connected self. And it's like same kind of thing we did earlier, but this has more of a recipe. So we're going to inhale for 4, right? And we're going to exhale for 4. We're going to do this just 4 times for time's sake. Uh, so why don't let's do? We're just going to do a few minutes. I'm going to do the BAMO breath, right? We're just going to do a few rounds, right? Just to and the breath and the meditation are always a great combination, because again, the breath is going to have an impact, right, on our nervous system, and it's going to help us to slow down, and it's going to help us to take down some of the activity in the body and in the mind, so we can get a little bit more fervently in to the non-doing space. And then we're just going to practice just for a couple minutes of meditation, and I'll guide you on that. It's going to be very simple. And so we're all sitting up nice and tall. If you, I mean, I prefer, so you're more alert a little bit. So not necessarily like, stiff, or, you can bring a hand on the belly if you like, hand on your chest if you like to just kind of connect with your breath, or you can connect, with the hands on your body anytime throughout this. We'll just do the BAMO breath, and then we'll drop into a real brief meditation and just observe. So let's exhale the breath out through your mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. Let's take this first BAMO breath with an inhale for 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and exhale out. 4, 3. Push the breath out nice and easy, creating no strain, and just kind of drop a little bit deeper into your seat. Again, in for 4, out easy. 4. One more time. In 4, exhale out. 4. And from this relaxed state of being, all I want you to do is just simply, in this non-doing space, maybe you can even think of yourself just sitting at like, 10,000 or 30,000 feet, way above experience, way above yourself. And I just want you to observe the breath. You don't have to make it big or anything. Just observe your breath as it flows in and out of your belly. And if it's helpful, maybe bring a hand onto your belly. I just want you to feel your flow of breath. In the technique of meditation, all we're trying to do is the best we can to just focus simply on one thing. And all we're focusing on now is just the experience of our breath. We need to change it or create or contrive some sort of experience. But just being with the breath and everything else just as it is. And the mind is going to try to take us and pull us in a million different little time traveling opportunities, and just come back to the breath when you feel yourself getting lost in thought or connected to a thought. This is really the practice, just realizing I'm getting lost in thinking, connecting in some way, and detaching and coming back. Back again. Notice if you get frustrated or something, or emotional, it starts to rise because you're not perfect at this. And it's not even about being perfect. It's not a performance. That's why it's called a practice. You get a little better every time you practice. But I will bat 500 or 600 someday. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is I show up and I do practice. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for everyone around me by taking control of my experience. And learning that I have this inner life. Learning that there's so much wisdom, tremendous amount of wisdom in the non-doing. And you can start your meditation practice just 5 minutes a day, just observing your breath just like this. And over time, things begin to slow down. You realize that you can grab hold of life instead of life and situations, circumstances, and people manipulating you. Close with one big breath. Inhale. And let it go out. Awesome, guys. Open your eyes when you're ready. Now I'm going to throw the ball over to John over there. Thanks, guys. We're going to take questions at the end, so maybe write them down. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.